Though I don't like the crew, I won't sink the ship. In fact, in time of storm, I'll do my best to save it. You see, we are all in this craft, and must sink or swim together. Fear of danger is 10,000 times more terrifying than danger itself. Friends are good, if well chosen. The soul is placed in the body like a rough diamond, and must be polished, or the luster of it will never appear. Expect nothing, and you'll always be surprised. Redemption from sin is greater than redemption from affliction. Those people cannot enjoy comfortably what God has given them because they see and covet what He has not given them. All of our discontents for what we want appear to me to spring from want of thankfulness for what we have. Wherever God erects a house of prayer, the devil always builds a chapel there, and tea will be found, upon examination, the latter has the largest congregation. Never, ladies, marry a fool, any husband rather than a fool. With some other husband you may be unhappy, but with a fool you will be miserable. Today, we love what tomorrow we hate. Today, we seek what tomorrow we shun. Today, we desire what tomorrow we fear, and can tremble at the apprehensions of. The height of human wisdom is to bring our tempers down to our circumstances, and to make a calm within, under the weight of the greatest storm without. It happened one day about noon going towards my boat. I was exceedingly surprised with the print of a man's naked foot on the shore. Why then should women be denied the benefits of instruction? If knowledge and understanding had been useless additions to the sex, God Almighty would never have given them capacities. All evils are to be considered with the good that is in them, and with what worse attends the. Thus, we never see the true state of our condition till it is illustrated to us by its contraries, nor know how to value what we enjoy, but by the want of it. Abused prosperity is oftentimes made the very means of our greatest adversity. I had been tricked once by that cheat called love, but the game was over. Thus fear of danger is 10,000 times more terrifying than danger itself when apparent to the eyes, and we find the burden of anxiety greater, by much, than the evil which we are anxious about. It is better to have a lion at the head of an army of sheep, than a sheep at the head of an army of lions. All our discontents about what we want appear to spring from the want of thankfulness for what we have. As covetousness is the root of all evil, so poverty is the worst of all snares. This grieved me heartily, and now I saw, though too late, the folly of beginning a work before we count the cost, and before we judge rightly of our own strength to go through with it. He that is rich is wise, and all men learned poverty despise. And I add this part here, to hint to whoever shall read it, that whenever they come to a true sense of things, they will find deliverance from sin much greater blessing than deliverance from affliction. I know not what to call this, nor will I urge that it is a secret, overruling decree, that hurries us on to be the instruments of our own destruction, even though it be before us, and that we rush upon it with our eyes open. All men would be tyrants if they could. I am giving an account of what was, not of what ought or ought not to be. The best of men cannot suspend their fate. The good die early, and the bad die late. Wait on the Lord, and be of good cheer, and He shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. I saw the cloud, though I did not foresee the storm. I hear much of people's calling out to punish the guilty, but very few are concerned to clear the innocent. For sudden joys, like griefs, confound at first. It is as reasonable to represent one kind of imprisonment by another as it is to represent anything that really exists by that which exists not. How strange a checker work of Providence is the life of man. She is always married too soon, who gets a bad husband, and she is never married too late, who gets a good one. It is men of desperate fortunes on the one hand, or of aspiring, superior fortunes on the other, who go abroad upon adventures, to rise by enterprise, and make themselves famous in undertakings of a nature out of the common road. Nature has left this tincture in the blood, that all men would be tyrants if they could. Vice came in always at the door of necessity, not at the door of inclination. Now, said I loud, my dear father's words are come to pass. God's justice has overtaken me, and I have none to help or hear me. I rejected the voice of Providence. Justice is always violent to the party offending, for every man is innocent in his own eyes. Now, said I loud, my dear father's words are come to pass. God's justice has overtaken me, and I have none to help or hear me. I rejected the voice of providence. Justice is always violent to the party offending, for every man is innocent in his own eyes. No shoots, says Friday, no yet. Me shoot now, me no kill. Me stay, give you one more laugh. Actions receive their tincture from the times, and as they change are virtues made or crimes. A rich man is an honest man, no thanks to him, for he would be a double knave, to cheat mankind when he had no need of it. He has no occasion to press upon his integrity, nor so much as to touch upon the borders of dishonesty. No man commits evil for the sake of it. Even the devil himself has some farther design in sinning than barely the wicked part of it. In trouble to be troubled is to have your trouble doubled. Diligence and application have their due encouragement, even in the remotest parts of the world, and that no case can be so low, so despicable, or so empty of prospect, but that an unwearied industry will go a great way to deliver us from it, will in time raise the meanest creature to appear again. In the first place, I was removed from all the wickedness of the world here. I had neither the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, or the pride of life. I had nothing to covet, for I had all that I was now capable of enjoying. Self-destruction is the effect of cowardice in the highest extreme. I have often thought of it as one of the most barbarous customs in the world, considering us as a civilized and a Christian country, that we deny the advantages of learning to women. Man is a short-sighted creature, sees but a very little way before him, and as his passions are none of his best friends, so his particular affections are generally his worst counselors. Necessity makes an honest man a knave. Man is a short-sighted creature, sees but a very little way before him, and as his passions are none of his best friends, so his particular affections are generally his worst counselors. Not the man in the moon, not the groaning board, not the speaking of Friar Bacon's brazen head, not the inspiration of Mother Shipton, or the miracles of Dr. Faustus, things as certain as death and taxes, can be more firmly believed. Things as certain as death and taxes can be more firmly believed. Every fine city, the four principal streets are the fairest for breadth, and the finest built that I have ever seen in one city together. In a word, 'tis the cleanest and beautifulest and best built city in Britain excepted. He that opposes his own judgment against the consent of the times ought to be backed with unanswerable truths. And he that has truth on his side is a fool as well as a coward, if he is afraid to own it because of other men's opinions. All the good things of the world are no further good to us than as they are of use, and of all we may heap up, we enjoy only as much as we can use, and no more. And of all plagues with which mankind are cursed, ecclesiastic tyrannies the worst. Alas, the Church of England, what with popery on one hand, and schismatics on the other, how has she been crucified between two thieves? And, young man, said he, depend upon it, if you do not go back, wherever you go, you will meet with nothing but disasters and disappointments, till your father's words are fulfilled upon you. We are very fond of some families because they can be traced beyond the conquest, whereas indeed, the farther back, the worse, as being the nearer allied to a race of robbers and thieves. He looked a little disordered when he said this, but I did not apprehend anything from it at that time, believing as it used to be said, that they who do those things never talk of them, or that they who talk of such things never do them. In their religion they are so uneven, that each man goes his own byway to heaven. But as a fool is the worst of husbands to do a woman good, so a fool is the worst husband a woman can do good to. But, says he again, if God much strong, much might as the devil, why God no kill the devil, so make him no more do wicked. I could almost set down as many extravagant things done in the excess of their joy as of their grief, but that would be to lessen the value of it. I had dropped a good design, which I had once bent my thoughts upon, and that was to try if I could not make some of my barley into malt, and then try to brew myself some beer. Great families of yesterday we show, and lords, whose parents were the Lord knows who. Men did then no more die by tale and by number. They might put out a weekly bill, and call them 7 or 8,000, or what they pleased. 'Tis certain they died by heaps, and were buried by heaps, that is to say, without account. Reason, it is true, is dictator in the society of mankind. From her there ought to lie no appeal. But here we want a pope in our philosophy, to be the infallible judge of what is or is not reason. I did what I never had done in all my life. I kneeled down, and prayed to God to fulfill the promise to me, that if I called upon him in the day of trouble, he would deliver me.